So today we're going to talk about the best way to make hard-boiled eggs. We're going to go step by step. I'm going to pull them out at different times so you can see the different doneness at 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 13 minutes. We'll take one all the way to 17 minutes so you can see an overcooked egg. I'm going to show you how to prepare these so they are simple to make, super easy to peel because that's always kind of the biggest pain in the butt when you're making eggs, and absolutely phenomenal. Now, if we're meeting for the first time, my name is Michael Ponzio and I make cooking videos for you. So let's talk about the basic facts of cooking hard-boiled eggs. You obviously want eggs and you want good eggs, but you don't want super fresh eggs. The fresher an egg is, actually the harder it is to peel later. Something a lot of people don't know. You want eggs that are about 3-4 weeks old, and those are the eggs you get in the grocery store. So if you're buying eggs fresh from a farm, they're not the best for hard boiling, but they are the greatest for cooking, sunny side up eggs and omelets and things like that. But you want your eggs to have a little bit of age. The reason is inside the egg, there's a little air pocket. And as the eggs age, that air pocket gets slightly larger. Larger the air pocket means slightly easier to peel. Also, the membrane reacts differently as the egg's a little older, the membrane inside the egg versus when it's fresh right out of the hen. So the first thing we need to do is start heating our water to make hard-boiled eggs. Now, a lot of people say to start the eggs in cold water. There's a few different reasons I don't like to do that. One, they're easier to peel if we put them in directly into a pot of hot boiling water. The second is if I start this pot on cold water versus a flimsy pot versus a cast iron, a ceramic pot, a Le Creuset, anything like that, they heat up and come to temperature at different times. It takes longer times for them to actually come to a boil. One's quicker, one's shorter, all affecting the doneness of the egg. So I like to start with boiling water and get them in there and get them cooking. I'm going to fill my pot with about 2 inches of water. You want to have just enough water to cover your eggs by about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. So if you're doing the eggs at home, there's a few different tools you can use that work really well for actually placing the eggs into the water. A slotted spoon works great because I can put 1, even 2 eggs on the slotted spoon and gently place it in the water. Another one is a steamer basket or a strainer. These work really well and are a huge help because I can place the eggs in here ahead of time and just gently drop it into the boiling water and not have to worry about it. Also makes it super simple when I'm removing them. So while I'm waiting for my pot to boil, I'm going to put my eggs in the basket. You want just a nice even layer. You don't want your eggs to be stacked up too high because if you stack them on top of each other, there's more of a risk of cracking, and also the eggs are pressing against each other, so they're not getting water all the way around it, working and boiling them. The most boring part's waiting for this thing to boil, but using a lid will help your pot boil faster. So now that our water's at a rapid boil, we're going to add our eggs in. Now you want the water to be at a rapid boil because the eggs are going to cool it down a little bit. So you want there to be a nice strong boil to help keep that heat moving through. We're going to place our eggs inside. We're going to boil this for 30 seconds. And what that's going to do is that initial boil is going to help the membrane pull away from the shell. We're going to cover this, turn the heat down to a low heat. And while it's covered, that's going to continue a nice aggressive simmer. But we're going to let these cook for 13 minutes. Now, like I said, we're going to pull some out at different times too, and I'll mark those and put them in an ice bath. So we're 7 minutes into our 13-minute boil. I'm going to take out the 6-minute egg. I'm just going to use my slotted spoon, reach in, and pull this one out. Now, I'll go right into the ice water with this, but to keep this simple so we know which egg is which, because these are going to get confusing, I'm just going to write the number 6 on this one and drop it in the ice water. So we're 10 minutes into our boil now. I'm going to pull out our 10-minute egg. So we've now hit the 13-minute mark in hard boiling our eggs. I'm going to take the majority of the eggs out because this is my favorite way to eat hard-boiled eggs. But look at how easy this basket is when it comes to taking these eggs out. You just lift it right up. I am going to put one back in there to cook for an additional 4 minutes so we can see an absolutely overcooked egg. But I'm going to take these eggs and just drop them right into the ice water. Nice and easy. Now there's a method when it comes to cooling down your eggs. Putting them in ice water helps a lot. What it's going to do is actually kind of help pull that egg even more away from the membrane and stop the cooking process on the white so you have a very tender white. You want to let them sit in the water for 15 minutes. 15 minutes is kind of that perfect mark where it's going to be much easier to peel and they're going to be nice and cool. Now we've hit the 17-minute mark. Let's take our last egg out. We're going to get this one labeled and in the ice water. So we've hit our magic 15-minute mark. Let's get these out of the ice water. Except for the 17-minute egg, I'm gonna leave that one a little bit longer. Now, oftentimes when I peel hard-boiled eggs, I do it over running water. A lot of people like to do it over cold running water. It keeps the water moving and gets inside that shell and helps kind of separate a little more. But the way we boil these eggs, they're gonna peel really easily. We're gonna take it and tap it on the sides, not on the fat side or the pointy side. We're gonna tap it on the sides of the egg. And what that's gonna do is loosen it up. We're going to come in with our finger and start to peel, and you'll be able to see this peels extremely easy. No need for running water. The membrane kind of sticks to the shell and comes off extremely simple. And you have a nice, smooth, hard-boiled egg. Now these whites, because the way we did it, are very tender, which is really nice, but I can feel the whites are tender and the inside is firm. All right, so let's get cutting and take a look at the difference of these eggs. The first is our 6-minute egg. And if you see when I cut into it, you're gonna see it's got a runny center. It looks absolutely beautiful though. The white is nice and tender and this inside is very runny and gorgeous. The next is the 10-minute egg. You can see that the yolk is a little more pasty and a little bit undercooked in appearance, but it's an absolutely delicious, wonderful textured egg. Now the 13-minute egg, which is my favorite, cuts straight down and you'll see the yolk is a little crumbly. It's pale and white, so it's completely cooked through, but it's got a great texture. It's creamy, perfect for making things like deviled eggs and egg salad. And the 17-minute egg, which is our final one, you're gonna notice that when I cut into it, it's much harder and crumblier in appearance. Now the biggest difference with the 17-minute egg is that this yolk is going to be very pasty and very mealy in consistency, and the white is much more firm, whereas the 13-minute egg is much more gentle and a creamier yolk, but it's cooked all the way through. It's hard cooked. So while they look similar in appearance, it actually is a big difference texturally of how it eats. Now, if I go beyond the 17 minutes, I'm going to start to get that green line around the egg yolk, or if I'm boiling at a huge rapid boil for 17 minutes, I'll get that green line. It doesn't mean the egg is bad. That happens from overcooking the egg. The yolk starts to change color. If you were to cook this thing for boiling for 45 minutes, that yolk is going to be green. It's just not going to be delicious at all. Now, it's always easiest to peel your eggs ahead of time. So after they're hard boiled, you peel them right away. They're going to peel the easiest. But if you don't want to do that and you want to take eggs in their shell, save the egg carton. It works great for storing them. But when you peel it later, you may have a slightly more difficult time. So what I like to do is I peel my eggs all at once, and then I'll store them in a container submerged in water in the refrigerator, and that really helps them extend their life and stay fresh and keep that really great clean flavor. Now, each of these eggs serves a different purpose. So the 6-minute egg, fantastic on top of a salad or an avocado toast or anything like that because it's creamy, it's a little runny, the egg white is super tender. The 10-minute egg, I love for doing egg salad with because I like that very, very lightly creamy yolk mixing in there. Works really, really well. Also great on salads, even great on sandwiches. The 13-minute egg is my hard-boiled egg. I love the texture when I'm making deviled eggs. If I whip that up, it's super creamy and light. Even just eating a hard-boiled egg, it's very enjoyable. It's very succulent and just very smooth in nature. The 17-minute egg, I honestly do nothing with. I never really cook these because that yolk becomes so undesirable when it's that far cooked. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am super excited because now my lunch is done for tomorrow. Probably my snack later is done for tonight. But this is a ton of fun. Great way to learn about. Hopefully you guys took something out of it. Found a really easy way to peel eggs, a really great way to cook eggs. I know everyone has their own way, so if you do way different and you found success with it, leave it down in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Now I'll leave this entire method, steps, everything down in the description below. I'll link up any tools I have as well in case you guys are looking for that little skimmer basket or a pot or anything. If you like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, click the little bell for notifications because it's going to help me keep these videos coming. And if you love cooking and you want to learn more and take your game to the next professional chef level, check out this video on how to cook the perfect creamy risotto. I got a great video on how to cook steak, all sorts of different things. So thank you guys and keep cooking.